A wicked witch and a symbol of evil in Balinese Hinduism. When women who used magic held a grudge or went down the path of evil, they became this dreadful creature. She spreads plagues, causes natural disasters, curses people, and even uses evil spirits to do her bidding. The holy beast Barong that symbolizes good is her eternal rival. Even if defeated, she will come back to life, and their battle will have no end.
Hello Internet, I'm HamsterBomb.
And I'm Timothy.
And this is Demonica, your Shin Megami Tensei Demon Compendium, where we look at the real-life lore that influenced the designs behind the series' demons. The moon is a waxing gibbous, and the full moon approaches. Kim, what religious, mythological, historical, fictional, cryptozoological character or concept will we be summoning tonight?
Rangda.
Rangda! I've been pronouncing this demon's name Rangda my whole life. I thought it was Rangda.
Same.
Yeah, I don't know, it would have been spelled with an O. Now, I know it's Balinese, but, to say it in English, I would expect it R-O-N-G-D-A. But nope, it's Rangda, just like Barong, which we're gonna hear about a lot in this episode, I assume, because these two are kind of tied together. And before this episode, I had no idea. I just assumed that Rangda was this evil thing, which...
Yeah, I was going to talk about my first experience with Rangda.
Yeah,
which might be the same as your first experience with Rangda.
Probably. So what do we first think of when we hear the name Rangda?
You know, beep-bopping along in Sei's palace, and then Rangda just nopes you out of existence. I mean, that's kind of...
But how does she do it?
Was it reflection?
She repels physical.
She repels physical. That's what
physical.
It was. I was... Make me use my SP. How dare you?
Yeah, well, that in a Persona game, yeah, where your SP is your time limit of how far you're allowed to get in the palace that day. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Now, you've probably faced Giri Makala before this point in any SMT or Persona game when you see Rangda.
Yeah.
So this is not a new thing. That's why I attribute the repel physical. We talked more about that for Giri Makala.
But in Persona 5, Giri Makala was one boss.
Yeah, he's a boss. He's usually
Rangda is just the enemy in this palace.
Rangda's just out there. Yeah, what I wrote for what I first think of is horror. It looks horrifying, and it repels physical. So it's just all around horrific.
Terrifying. It looks absolutely terrifying.
It looks horrific, and it bounces your attacks back at you. It's awful. I'd love to know if there is some sort of lore justification for the repelling physical, because I don't think I get into that at all.
I don't really think so.
See, what I thought of from what little I gathered...
I have an idea.
Okay.
So when we get there, I'll bring it up, but...
Okay. My idea from what little I know about the character's lore is that since she always comes back to challenge Barong, she's always constantly countering him, and in that same sense that she's like the yin to his yang, that, or rather, she'd be the yang to the yin. Then she counters the attacks right back at him.
I don't know. This is Hindu, not Buddhism.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, though. That they're like opposites. They're constantly in flow with each other, and if one goes down, they come right back again, and they do their battle again. So let's first talk about Rangda as she appears in Shin Megami Tensei. I was shocked to discover just how prolific Rangda's history is in the SMT multiverse of games. In fact, after way more research than I care to admit, I only found 3 games where Rangda doesn't appear, spin-offs included.
You know, I was looking through the list on the wiki, and it was extensively
long. It is
long.
A long list. So, surprise, Kim. It is already time for your quiz question. Can you spot which of these titles actually did feature Rangda?
Oh.
A. Persona 2 Innocent Sin. B. Devil Summoner Raido Kuzunoa versus the Soulless Army. C. Revelations the Demon Slayer, which is Last Bible 1. Or D. Soul Hackers 2.
Soul Hackers 2.
You're correct.
See, I looked at the list today.
Well, if you look at that ginormous list, there's no way you'd have remembered every game
I
on
didn't
there.
remember every
you just
game.
Happened to see Soul
but
Hackers
I remember
2.
I never saw Raido, and I never saw Persona 2, but I saw like 4 or 3 and up, I think. And then I didn't see the Last Bible one on there. And I do remember seeing Soul Hackers 2 specifically.
Well, it's funny because you definitely skimmed it. I'll explain.
I did
skim
it.
So since Persona 2 is a 2-part game spread across Innocent Sin and Eternal Punishment, Rangda technically only appears in the second half, which is Eternal Punishment, and is not in Innocent Sin. So that's like not being in the beginning of a SMT or Persona game, which of course Rangda tends to be a late game demon, so doesn't appear in Innocent Sin.
It's just kind of the same thing with Vengeance then, right?
Rangda is in both SMT5 and Vengeance. As for Raido versus the Soulless Army, Rangda was added into the game for the remastered version, even though she actually missed out on the PS2 original, still kind of skirting by on technicalities here. These are the only instances of Rangda not appearing.
I'm just going to say I got it because I saw Soul Hackers 2 on that list specifically.
And finally, we come to Last Bible 1, which just flat out left Rangda out of the game. Even though the rest of the Last Bible series and a spin-off, Another Bible, Another Bible might not have Rangda, but all the other ones do. So Rangda was in basically every single Shin Megami Tensei and Persona game. All of them.
And what about Megami Tensei?
Yes.
Okay.
Even in Megami Tensei. I was even thinking of making my first option on here Megami Tensei for the correct answer of what the Rangda has actually been in. And I thought I would throw you a bone with Soul Hackers 2, because that is a newer title, and of course it would have Rangda.
Yeah, that's true too.
But still, neither of us have played Soul Hackers 2, so that was another reason why I thought maybe Kim might fall for it.
I like it aesthetically. I think it looks very pretty.
Oh yeah, it's really cool looking.
But I haven't heard the best things about it, so...
Well, the best things are, from what I understand, it's locked to the PS5 and 4. I think you have to play it on console.
That's rough.
Yeah, and not even the Switch.
Okay, if it's not on the Switch, I'm not playing it.
Yeah, Switch or Steam. We got PlayStation downstairs, but I don't feel like it.
It's a PS4 and it has horrible loading times. I can't play things on it. It's a DVD player now.
Yeah, that really is. That's what people bought the PS2 for. And
I know.
People don't seem to understand. They're like, oh, the PS2 was the greatest selling video game console of all time. Well, you got to understand here. Go back in time.
Cheaper than a DVD player.
Yeah, it was cheaper than a DVD player. People bought it for it being a DVD player.
Now, see, I had bought it to have a console, but I was also excited to be able to have a DVD player in my bedroom.
Exactly. So the fact that, say, the Nintendo Switch does not have a DVD player makes it by far outselling the PS2 if you're looking at people who just bought it for video games. Mm-hmm. Same for the Game Boy. Intensely overselling these, but whatever. So back to Rangda. That was damn near perfect attendance. If I could only list a few games where Rangda didn't appear, and they were technicalities, like Innocent Sin, that really doesn't feel fair to say. Because Eternal Punishment is the second half of that game. Raido added Rangda in Remastered. Last Bible, the sequels have Rangda, but not... So that's like the only one. The only one. This took me a long time to figure this out.
So here's the crazy part for me with Rangda. I had to look at Bali on a map, because it's Balinese.
Mm-hmm.
Is so small. It's like such a tiny point on the whole entire planet.
And
that is the only place where this mythology exists.
Well, I'm an idiot American. Can you compare it to either the size of a United States state for some comparison here?
No, probably not.
No.
My brain's really bad at that.
Yeah, okay.
Smaller than Texas.
Texas is gargantuan.
Bigger than Rhode Island.
Thanks. So what you're saying is it's the size of a United States state.
I think it's smaller than a lot of them, but yeah.
I'm saying that the weirdest way. North American state, how about that?
The United States of American state. It's smaller than Alaska and bigger than Rhode Island.
It's even worse. But at least you know Alaska's bigger. Anyway, let's move on. So remember, I also just called Rangda a monstrosity. Let's justify that by combing through one of the most staple demons in the franchise's history. And I'm going to be scared, because Rangda's scary.
Are we looking at designs or just its attributes?
Designs.
Oh, okay. I always want to pull up the designs.
Yeah, let's get a visual on what we're talking about first. And we're going back to the very beginning. In Megami Tensei, the first game, Rangda looks like if the Cookie Monster had a child with one of the beasts from Where the Wild Things Are. It's bright blue with shaggy fur, long pink claws, white horns and fangs, and soulless pink eyes with a lashing tongue. In the sequel, Megami Tensei 2, we get a design style that will reflect about half of Rangda's designs going forward. Thankfully, this will save us some time in describing them all. Rangda appears as a palette swap of Barong, so imagine a creepy quadruped with fangs, bushy fur over the body, and an ornate frill. The Rangda variant has red skin, green fur, and a yellow frill.
This seems just so offensive to me, knowing the lore. I understand mechanically why it happened, but I'm just so offended because these are not the same. They look nothing alike.
I know, but if you go into any of the palette swaps with that mentality, you're going to be mad at them, but due to a system limitation, we have Rangda in the game, and not just Barong. So in that case, I'm happy that at least Rangda appeared in some way. And if you were going to palette swap any of the demons from Megami Tensei 2, Barong's not a bad choice. It still very much looks Balinese. It's very shaggy with a fur. You could make the colors right. It's not bad.
I suppose.
But in Shin Megami Tensei, things change a bit. We're still using Barong's palette swap, but this time the frill is a dull bronze, and the woolly coat is navy blue. It looks much better with the red skin, I think. And still very creepy. No offense to the Balinese out there. Just saying, there's gotta be some Balinese kids that have nightmares about Barong and Rangda.
There's gotta be Barong.
There's gotta be adults. He scared me when I saw a video of him you showed me. He's freaky looking.
Okay, but he's got like puppy attributes, so...
And clicky sharp teeth, and he moves his head around, and... Ugh. Anyway, this is not a Barong episode, I'm sorry.
We're going to talk about Barong a lot, though.
Barong is scary, too.
Just as in the Barong episode, we're probably going to talk about Rangda a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Now, something crucial happens in Shin Megami Tensei 2. Rangda stands up and takes on a unique appearance, and it's unsettling, to say the least. Rangda now appears like a red-skinned goblin witch with long black hair, long claws, and a long tongue hanging from her jawless mouth. The hair in the front is done up in some sort of ornate braids, and she wears multiple forms of jewelry on her head and arms. Finally, she's wearing a red and white striped dress under her jewel-encrusted golden adornments. Her eyes are round and piercing, and her missing jaw is replaced with circular blades on either side of her 4 front teeth. This is truly a design from my nightmares.
Now doing the research, I'm really digging these designs, so... I'm not so terrified as I was.
You're just like, yes, authentic. And I'm just like, yeah. But we all know that Rangda can get even scarier. Moving on to Shin Megami Tensei 3, we get the design that we all know and recognize today that will be carried up to modern day and recolorized in Persona 5X. There's honestly so much going on here that even breaking it down piece by piece is like dissecting a nightmare.
There's a lot going on here with this. And I think it's just they're trying to show that intricate detail of the Balinese, mask.
Not only that, it's also, I'm going to talk about it in my script, but it's always moving, so that makes it even harder to get a read on what you're even looking at.
I did spend a long time today just staring at its new X art.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to comprehend and see if there's any other little things I can talk about that's on it.
There's a lot of little things, and luckily I'm going to get through them for you. Eventually. Rangda still got red skin and long, ratty black hair. Her fingernails, though, have grown to Guinness Book of World Records proportions. Each one is a sharpened 2 to 3 foot long claw, and her wrists are golden bangles with what appear to be elongated dog tags or charms dangling in sets of 3s. Her eyes are blank white voids surrounded by black and dark blue eyeshadow. Gripped between her teeth is another golden slab, which appears to be another set of 3 charms tied together. Each one has scribblings inscribed upon them as well. To my best knowledge, I couldn't tell if they were actually supposed to say anything, or if this is referencing some sort of Balinese thing, that they are tied to her wrists and also tied up and in her mouth.
No, I didn't cross anything like that. This is honestly, from looking at the references of what I know now, I count this as the second closest design. Whereas the best closest design is...
Cerberus!
Shin Megami Tensei. What was that one?
Oh, I thought you meant demon. In general, though, which demon that we've covered so far do you think is the closest to its original lore? Is it Rangda?
The Rangda from... Is it the original SMT2? Yeah. That one's really on point. Why'd you have to throw this on me? I mean...
I thought that's what you were saying.
Eligor, pretty close with the newest ones. You know, it's
Eligos, pretty close.
If I sat here and I looked through all of them, I think right now, ranking-wise, it's probably Rangda. Yeah, we're going to do that a lot.
Yeah, you said that wrong. Duh. To the sides of her teeth, she once again has crescent moon-style circular blades the size of her head. Ribbed white gold plates cover her neck and stop before covering her exposed chest, which appears to be body painted with a black and magenta design. Her nipples are covered with black dots and, shockingly, aren't edited further in the heavily censored Persona 5X updated design.
Did they not realize those were boobs? I don't know.
This demon has exposed breasts, but is such a horror to look at, even the ratings board in China missed it.
I mean, it's horrifying.
It is horrifying.
Are you looking at its tits the first time you see it?
I don't think anyone was aroused by Rangda, and that was the problem. They were like, nope, just get it out. There's another weird thing about Rangda's design that I'm shocked didn't get censored, but we'll get there later. We haven't even reached the scariest part of Rangda's new look. She doesn't have legs. Any semblance that this was a human witch dies when you look below the waist, almost like she were instead a creepy marionette. Her hips are instead replaced by a golden-fanged, three-eyed skull. Its ears fan out like white gold engraved pelvis sections, you know, like it's almost like elephant ears that are shaped like a pelvis.
I don't know. It looks just similar to like Barong's mask,
Kind
and that's
of.
about the only thing I can like peg that for.
And this is attaching to the waist with a green and blue striped circus tent-like fabric.
Yeah, it's weird.
So what I find so weird is that this shape has a skull on it. It is obviously a skull, the shape of this design for the pelvis, let's just call it that.
Right.
Skulls are heavily censored. Anything skeletal at all is heavily censored in the Chinese Persona 5X redesigns. Look at any of the fiends. Look at Kumhanda. Anything that looks like a skeleton has a skull on it, they changed it to like a hockey mask or something goofy. Now, Rangda didn't get censored at all. Now, yeah, it's kind of a goofy cartoon skeleton in the new one.
I'm not even sure if you could count that as a skeleton. You know, I see it, yeah, kind of skull, but at the same time, I think you could just get away with it looking like a mask.
Yeah, you're not trying to pass it off as an actual skeleton,
yeah.
Sure. But that's probably what that's about. But that does not justify the exposed breasts.
No, it doesn't. And that is what they are. We will get into it. That is 100% what they are.
They titties. Dangling from her ear pelvis things are what are replacing the legs. Ornamental black and red striped spherical paper lanterns joined together like golden beads in a thread. Each leg is jointed in threes and sway back and forth inhumanly as Rangda dances through the air. Replacing feet, each strand ends with an ornate golden axe blade pendulum. As if all that wasn't enough, between the legs, a long gold and red decorative sash hangs down and flows with the motion as if slithering through the air as its segments resemble scales in the patterning from a snake. This ends with black tassels that reach down just as far as her unkempt black frizzy hair. What a horrific monster. I mentioned the weird eclectic dance she does, swaying her dangly parts and swishing her claws through the air, but that's what keeps you from getting a good read on her. Every part of this demon is unsettling. I don't know how you pack so much creepy into one demon, but Atlas found a way. Now, for the most part, every other Rangda design is a variant on one of the two main designs we've just covered, the Monstrosity or the Barong Palette Swap, with two big exceptions. First up, let's look at Devil Children!
My favorite!
Rangda looks like a pink puppy with big black eyes, two rounded fangs, and a big green spiky anime hairdo held up by a gold crown. She also has some odd purple fur forming either three tails or a tail with butt wings. The green anime hair even becomes a bit of a lion's mane below the neck where a cute gold tie hangs. Rangda is all dressed up for a Digimon wedding.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Like, none of that says Rangda.
If you showed this to me, I would think it's a sphinx.
A really weird sphinx that's going to a wedding.
Why is he going to a wedding?
He's got a nice little tie. Look
it's
at
to
him.
hold his hat on.
It's so cute.
Her hat on? It's
Her
Rangda.
hat. It's Rangda. Maybe it was a palette swap in Demi Kids, and the art is supposed
This is what Barong looks like?
Yeah, maybe it's a quadruped. I don't know.
Maybe.
Fact checking.
No.
No, it's not a palette swap.
No.
Oh my god. It looks like Blangonga from Monster Hunter, except turned into a cartoon
And
character.
then there's this cute one where he's like, pet my tummy.
That is adorable.
I don't know what
All
that one is.
Anyway, back to Rangda. Let's also not forget Demi Kids. Here, Rangda appears like a small floating pink wingless fairy. Her hair is long and red, emerging from a fanged headpiece resembling the face of a monster.
You know what? At least it's a female human.
Yeah.
I don't.
She wears minimal purple and red ornamentation, basically only covering her privates and feet, and carries a cartoonishly large, proportionate pirate scimitar.
You know what? I'm fine with it. I'm way more fine with it than whatever that last thing was we looked at.
Devil Children.
Yeah. I know we were already talking about her X design, but I just pulled up the image again, and I really like the highly reflective extra ambiance colors they've added on to things. You know, if you've noticed that, it's like not nearly as flat.
Yeah, so her Persona 5X design, this is an uncommon thing that they've done, but they, instead of drawing a new pose for the demon, which a lot of them are new poses, which is cool, because we haven't seen them in new poses forever. The original Rangda design that they did for SMT3 and a few other games, it technically might have come from something else first, like probably not Soul Hackers, but I'm not sure. But anyway, all they did for Rangda was they like sketched over it, digitally painting it, and just added way more color and contrast and colored the whole thing.
And like detail too. Like it looks really good.
Yeah, the skull is technically a little different. The ornamentation's a little bit different too. It's really cool. It's horrifying, but it's cool.
Oh, you know, they didn't draw the eyes on the X design for the skull. I wonder if that had anything to do with their editing.
They might. Well, from the best of my knowledge, Rangda was not edited, so that is just what Rangda looks like.
Oh, okay.
In
Well,
their new design.
She has bigger boobs now, so
no way.
I am looking at
you can go back and forth,
yeah,
and she goes up a cup size.
I'm looking at Soul Hackers to X.
Soul Hackers is probably the first time that we saw this design,
well,
and then
she
it was
had
turned
smaller
into 3D
boobies
for
then.
SMT3.
They're bigger now.
Okay, well.
They're more obviously boobs in the new design. Because I feel like even when I played Persona 5, I couldn't quite tell that they were boobs.
Well, she's moving around.
Yeah, it's weird.
And, you're distracted by the long claws and the fact that she doesn't have legs and her hair is
so
like
unsettling.
ratty and she doesn't have pupils. There's so much. She doesn't have a bottom jaw and she's like, there's blades coming out of her mouth. Like, it's all horrifying.
Well, I know this will haunt your nightmares tonight.
It always has. Don't worry about it.
It's nothing new.
No, I'm trying to put this behind me. Now, for a demon this old, it is shocking that Rangda is actually really consistent with her stats and mechanics. Outside of a couple rare exceptions, Rangda repels physical and gunfire attacks when gunfire is a thing. And to justify this absolutely obnoxious behavior, which we haven't really said as much about because we already said it in Gary McCullough, but repelling physical is obnoxious.
Why does it have to be the normal enemies in Sei's palace? That's all I have to say. Like, why would you do that to me?
Because to justify this obnoxious behavior, Rangda is almost always weak to electricity, on top of a few other random elements based on the game, kind of as an apology.
You know what I find weird, though, is that I think also Raja Naga's in that palace, and he is electric.
Nagaraja.
Yeah.
He uses electricity, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. That's what I'm saying. I just thought it was weird that they kind of paired those two together.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just use Ryuji to get out of everything.
Though Rangda almost always has more than one weakness due to that busted physical repel, but you should bank on electric being the answer to defeating her. The reason behind this is that her enemy Barong typically excels in electrical magic in SMT.
Okay.
So they wanted to make sure that Rangda is weak to Barong, but also has an obnoxious way to destroy him with his own attacks.
So here's the other thing. Is I feel like because they always want to make sure that Barong counters Rangda, that's why they didn't want to change the weaknesses and resistances every single game, so that way they could just keep those two consistent and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, on Barong's episode, we'll be able to see how long he's been around. I'm assuming just as long as Rangda. It doesn't make sense to have one without the other. I would assume it's a palette swap, right? Yeah. And funnily enough, if you fuse together Rangda and Barong, you end up with one of the most powerful demons in the series. Kim, who is it?
Shiva.
Shiva.
Also, I found that Vishnu would have also been acceptable.
Sure, but traditionally it's Shiva, and Shiva in SMT
usually stronger than Vishnu.
Is stronger than Vishnu. Vishnu is still an endgame demon, but Shiva is like end of the line.
I think in like mythology, I think Shiva, Vishnu, and Braham are all like on the same level. Like one's creation, one's destruction, and one's like sustainability or something like that. Preservation.
The Shiva destruction?
Shiva's destruction, Vishnu is preservation, and Braham, I think, is creation.
Rangda is a member of the Fem race and is always chaos aligned. It is really rare for me to be able to say something so definitive about a demon this old.
And this correct.
Yeah. Fem. Okay.
Correct.
Chaos aligned.
Yes, absolutely. I cannot disagree with either of those. That is 100%.
Kim never gets to agree with these. This is wonderful. Similar to Giri Makala, Rangda has high physical or magic to ensure that if you didn't just kill yourself with a physical attack getting repelled, then the next hit from her will finish the job.
Yep.
As for moves, you can bet on Rangda knowing some sort of claw attack like Nihil Claw, if that's how you say it. Nihil, I'm not sure. This is honestly the first time I've ever said it out loud.
Nihil?
Yeah, that attack.
Ah, sure.
Or Binding Claw. She also tends to have some strong magic attacks as backup like Mazandine and Mudoon. Those Zan skills will be buffed even further in SMT5, where Rangda has the innate skill Force Gestalt, which I'm also saying out loud for the first time, so I might be a complete fool here.
Gestalt. I mean, you could have said it a little smoother.
Isn't that right?
Gestalt.
Gestalt, that's what I said.
I know, you just said it kind of weird.
Okay. Anyway, that increases the damage of force attacks, so that way Rangda hits even harder when trying to basically get you killed in one hit. When recruiting Rangda, expect her to act like an old crotchety witch. She's a crone that will trade your life for a few items and a handful of maca, so be careful.
Correct.
Story time! Are you ready?
Rangda
has no story integration, as far as I'm aware, across all of these games.
She talks to Barong. Isn't that story integration?
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. That is kind of sad for how many games Rangda has appeared in, but we do at least have a silly hidden demon conversation in Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Okay.
If you attempt to speak with a wild Rangda with a Barong in your party, Barong will step forward. The two will talk about their fate of always appearing to stop the other no matter what. Rangda suggests that Barong might have a softer side and might be pursuing her just to see her. Though she tries to de-escalate their fated battle, Barong is a complete bonehead and doesn't pick up on this at all, calling Rangda names like, quote, wicked old hag, instigating her to attack the party out of fury. So it is a rare integration where you can actually have two of your demons talking to each other. There's only so many of these. Actually, in preparing for this episode, I watched all of them on YouTube, and they're funny, they're interesting, but they're really rare. Some of them you have to go to early areas with endgame demons to even get a chance for this to happen, and you won't be recruiting at that point. So like,
would it happen more if it was like in a New Game Plus scenario?
Maybe. So like if you had, say, Zeus on your party, New Game Plus, and you went to go recruit a demon, the demon will have a unique dialogue with Zeus.
Really?
Yes.
That's funny.
There's a lot of really weird ones in there, and you need to have very particular pair-ups. Now, naturally, through playing this game, like, how many times did I say I played this game? Like 10 frickin' times. I have seen, organically, 2 of these.
Wow. Without trying. Just
without trying.
Organically.
2.
Playing.
Yes.
Okay.
We mentioned one, Cerberus and Hydra, and that is basically the extent of like someone randomly getting a chance to do this. It's almost like finding a shiny Pokemon, the odds of you actually having one of these.
Well, wasn't the other one Cerberus with Orthus?
That's what I was telling you about. It's,
okay.
It's funny. It's Orthus is asking why Cerberus, his older brother, doesn't have more heads than him because he's supposed to have more heads, and Cerberus is really embarrassed and tries to change the subject and get out of the conversation.
Well, you know, SMT Cerberus does not have enough heads. So.
Because that's the joke.
Yeah.
He's aware that he's supposed to have more heads, but anyway.
But now his design's so iconic, they can't change him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's part of the joke. So yeah, so a lot of these are like inside jokes. Some are really well written and cool, creative, and most of them end up with the demon giving you some sort of gift for the interaction, because it is a rare thing to have happen. Like the one with Zeus and the demon I mentioned gives you like 2 stamina bombs. It's good if you can get it.
I feel like we need to discern that this is the demon Daemon. Is that right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Not just any demon. No, it's a very particular demon named Demon.
I just want to make sure people understood that.
Yeah. But this Rangda Barong one, they make you fight. So, like, you say you saw Rangda and you want to recruit a Rangda on your party because, you know, it's really strong and it's repelling physical. But Barong shows up and sabotages the whole thing by being an idiot.
Correct.
But anyway, that's all I got on Rangda. So with that, we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, we will dive into the lore of Rangda.
Oh, don't say it like that. That's not right.
Hey, your friendly reminder today. Leave a 5-star review. It does a nice thing for us. And it makes things nicer for you in the future. Just, you know, be nice. Just saying, you know. Anyway, goodbye.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the ad.
And we're back with more Demonica! Now it is time to ask the question, Kim, who or what is Rangda?
Oh, I am so excited for this one today because this was so rich in just information and culture. It's great.
Cool. I'm glad you found one.
Are you
like
excited?
this. I am excited.
Okay. Rangda is considered the queen of the Layaks and is closely associated with witchcraft and demonic forces. However, her role is more complex as she represents the duality between good and evil. In some traditions, she can even be called upon for protection and feminine power. So for this episode, I'm going to start with Rangda's origins, the move into her traits, and then finish with the story of her eternal battle. So I thought that made the most sense for us.
Okay.
I'm saying I'm doing her origin story first.
Oh, I see.
Because I feel like that helps then going into her traits. So just mixing things up a little bit again.
Okay.
So let's start at the beginning. Rangda was once the queen of Bali, known as Mahindetra. She was married to King Udayana in an arranged marriage designed to unite the two provinces of Indonesia, Bali and Java. During their marriage, they had 2 children, a son, Erlaga, and a daughter, Ratna.
Are any of these other characters SMT demons?
So far, no.
Okay. Are they actually, like, really important to her story, though?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like many women in her position, Mahindreta craved power. She worshipped the deity Dugra. That one's the SMT demon.
Durga.
Dugra.
No, Durga.
Dugra.
It's Durga.
Dugra.
But in the game, it's Durga.
Dugra.
I know this one. It was on my team. I know this one. Durga. Durga.
Yeah, and it's pronounced Dugra.
Oh my god. SMT2 demon probably appeared in a couple other places.
She's got multiple arms, I assume. I think she does. Yeah.
I think it was a palette swap of Vishnu or something. It's an endgame demon.
Oh, okay. As I was saying, she worshipped the deity Dugra, who fights against evil and is also linked to protection, motherhood, destruction, and war. You know, it reminds me of a lot of Hindu deities where it's not that they're entirely benevolent or entirely malevolent. They're just kind of that balance of good and evil.
Neutral.
Dugra, yes.
Dugra, they just do their thing.
Right. Eventually, she turned to witchcraft to gain more power and learn to control demons.
Rangda did, or her daughter.
Rangda did. Her name was Mahindetra at the time.
Okay.
She is not Rangda yet.
She's, okay, right, Mahindetra, right. Sorry.
When it was discovered that she was performing these dark acts in the palace, King Udayana disowned her as queen and exiled her to the jungle. As you can probably imagine, this was supposed to be like a death sentence with no food or supplies.
In the jungle? Yeah.
Yeah.
She also seemed to have stopped cutting her hair.
Mahindetra would not go down without a fight. She continued practicing witchcraft and praying to Dugra, and eventually people began seeking her out in the jungle for her knowledge.
Uh-oh.
This is when she rose to become queen of the Layaks, essentially her disciples. Those who had studied under her became these terrifying creatures.
Well, hold on. Can I have a question first?
Yeah.
You mentioned the Layaks earlier. I wanted to ask what or who they were, except now you're saying they're basically her disciples, meaning they existed after that point. So what were they before?
I would assume they existed before.
Your story said so.
That was just my description of her. She was queen of the Layaks.
Okay, so will become queen of the Layaks.
Will become queen, yes.
Okay, that was my...
That was her as Rangda.
Oh, okay.
We're still talking about Mahindetra.
I understand.
But that brings us to our pop quiz.
Surprise!
Alex, what is a Layak?
Damn it!
A. Chattering skulls affixed to skeletons. B. Goblin-like creatures that follow a master's command. Or C. Flying heads with entrails hanging below.
I want it to be the chattering skulls, but I have a feeling that you wouldn't have made up something so disgusting as C, so I'm gonna go with that.
It would be C.
Yeah. I want it to be the funny chattering skulls because if any of you guys have played SMT3 and fought Mother Harlot, she has this hilarious animation where she chatters her teeth like...
Oh, I can't wait to talk about Mother Harlot. I feel like she's not going to have anything for, like, her lore, but I just like that demon in general.
Design. But anyway, yeah, I had a bad feeling it was going to be the entrails.
Yeah. Layaks are described as flying heads with their entrails hanging below, hunting at night for pregnant women or newborns.
That sounds a lot like the Manananggal.
And they can shapeshift as well. So I was going to bring that up.
That sounds a lot like the Manananggal.
Exactly. I wrote in here, I was like, interesting. I find that the description of the Layaks is very similar to the Manananggal.
It's like the same thing.
Which is the Philippines. Okay, and this is where my map came in.
Oh, right. Because Kim was pulling up a map before this episode went live, and she was wanting to figure out, how far this is.
Okay, so the Manananggal is up in the Philippines, and the Layaks are down in Bali, right?
Yes.
Okay, these are about one America away from each other. So,
why would you say it
like if you're driving from Texas to Minnesota, no, I will not be using traditional forms of measurement.
Say how many miles.
I am an American.
Just say how many miles.
We measure things in alligators and eagles.
How many alligators is it? Now, if I lined up a bunch of baseball bats from Bali...
This is getting worse.
Would it weigh as much as 20 elephants?
I don't know. Are your elephants Gira McCulloch?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so these islands aren't, like, terribly far from each other, but I find it crazy that they have lore about a very similar creature in both. Because Manananggal also hunts for pregnant women to eat unborn babies and suckle on their blood and stuff, and it detaches from its bottom half that it has to leave and has entrails hanging out of its body.
Yeah.
I thought that Obviously, I was making that comparison while I was researching, too. And I was like, that is crazy. I need to know how close these places are.
We will eventually cover the Manananggal, and I was excited to do that, and I still am. But that is disturbing to know that another country that is relatively far away, all things considered, for, like, nomadic people around islands.
Yeah, I mean, like, Indonesia, like, the main island of Indonesia is a little closer to the Philippines. But, like, from my understanding, Rangda is just in Bali, which is, like, below Indonesia.
Yeah, that's really specific.
Yeah, but it is a province of Indonesia, so... Isn't that crazy, though? Is there some kind of monster over there flying around with entrails?
That's the thing I was just thinking. Like, is this actually a cryptid of what looks like a head with entrails flying around?
Like, that sounds terrifying.
That sounds awful.
Or do they have, like, an issue with, like, flying birds carrying around entrails of, like, larger animals that were left around?
Or is it like the Witcher botchling thing?
Ugh.
You know, it's just like this...
This is just getting more and more gross.
Yeah, it's gross. It's ugh.
Okay, we're moving on.
Do they exist over there? Oh my god.
Are we not going to this place ever?
I'm really scared of the diseases, mostly. You move that far away from where you're from, and your body is just not prepared for the diseases.
You're not scared of the flying entrail heads and or torso monsters?
Mostly when they bite me and I come home extremely ill and the doctors don't understand what's wrong.
You don't have to worry because they feed on pregnant women and newborns.
I'm just a will baby. Don't mind my back problems.
Okay, now that we've gotten through my American measurement of where these two places are located, and my weird astonishment of how they have this very similar thing, we're going to move forward.
Well, hold on, before we move forward...
Do we have to keep talking about the Layaks?
We're implying that there is a colony of these things out in the jungle.
Correct.
And...
They can shapeshift. They might look like cats sometimes.
To whom will future be named Rangda is now the queen among these monsters.
Correct.
Do we have any idea how many there are?
It's a good question. There's not like a specific number, but I've heard there's 3 prominent ones.
Crones, like in Witcher. Here we go. Great.
Okay, but it's 2 females and 1 male.
Okay.
I didn't add this in my script because I thought I couldn't find their names and yada, yada, yada.
It's a male one.
Yeah.
So that's different. I think the Mananangul
is
all
only female. It's only female because it will seduce men to live in their homes.
Yeah, and it had something to do with mothers and fetuses that it would try to eat. And
yeah, there's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's nasty. We'll get there eventually.
Okay, let's get back to Mahendrata's story.
Mahendrata.
Mahendrata. Mahendrata's son, Urlaga, eventually encounters her at the edge of the jungle. Horrified by what his mother has become, he flees, leaving her feeling betrayed. Her daughter, Ratna, unable to find a suitor, joins her mother in the jungle and becomes a Layak herself, which is a little bit of foreshadowing here with her son, so keep the name Urlaga in mind as we're going through the story.
So she couldn't find any guy who wanted to marry her, so she decides to go live in the jungle?
You have to keep in mind, this is a caste system. She is a princess, and there's nobody, like, at her level.
Oh. Right, and she can't be married into...
Correct. She can't be married into a separate caste system.
They don't just send her off into the jungle, though. Or did she choose her mother?
She willingly left.
She chose her mother.
Left to be with her mother. And become a Layak.
How does one become that?
Dark forces, magic... Devoting yourself to some demons. I don't know. Durga. Following the death of her husband, who had remarried, Mahendrata takes on the name Rangda, meaning widow. So
she considered herself married up until this moment.
Yeah, she was very upset that he remarried. Because she said she was still married. She was the queen of Bali still.
This is a very detailed story, almost like this is based on a real set of events.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Yeah, like the jungle people that are in trail thing. That is, I'm assuming, some sort of exaggeration where there's like a tribe, I'm hoping, where they had
We're hoping. We're praying.
They had, like, maybe they wrapped themselves in something that was shaggy and creepy looking that might have resembled... I don't know.
But, okay, so it wasn't her who started calling herself Rangda. It's what the people in the village started calling her Rangda after her husband had finally died.
They gave her the name, so...
They gave her the name Rangda.
Did they have their own language?
I mean, Balinese.
Well, I meant, like, different from where she came from.
No, I don't think so.
Because I'm assuming
I would assume Java and Bali, because Java was, like, a nearby island, like, right next to it.
Yeah. So I'm just saying this theoretical jungle tribe of possible monsters would be isolated enough to have their own form of communication.
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Because if that's the case, then they might have eventually... accepted her as their own ruler, as they said, as now their queen, they would attribute a name to her.
Maybe.
Rangda.
I mean, it was the people in Bali, like the villages and the cities, that were calling her Rangda, knowing that she was out there. Like, there's this evil witch living out there that was the queen of Bali at one point. So then once her husband dies, they were like, well, she's widow now. So they call her Rangda, which I think really sucks because... her whole thing was trying to gain more power and be more than just the wife to this man. And now her whole name is based off of that, you know?
Widow, yeah.
So I thought that was kind of disappointing for her.
Well, it's kind of ironic. Like, it's this thing that she's trying to overcome, and then it becomes stapled onto her name.
Very ironic for sure. Rangda didn't become immortal until she was very old. Her hair had turned white and tangled into a wild mane, and she had stopped wearing clothes, fully embracing her deity status. Her teeth had grown into fangs, and her nails became long and sharp, a terrifying figure to behold. So you can see why her son kind of betrayed her and ran away and didn't help her get back into the palace.
You're right. So that happened earlier.
Yeah, it happened before her husband died.
So she really did go in the jungle and just stopped cutting her hair and taking care of herself.
Correct.
Okay.
So now that we've seen how Rangda became immortal and fearsome, let's do a rundown of the traits she's known for. One of Rangda's more terrifying traits is that her connection to eating and or sacrificing babies to Dugra.
Oh, that's not nice.
Something that's shown in several Balinese statues.
Oh, God. I don't want to see that.
Sometimes she's seen depicting eating children herself, which explains why her traditional design usually includes a long, protruding tongue.
Ew. Ew. Oh, like SMT2.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, why is her tongue like 4 feet long?
For eating children.
Oh, what does this benefit her?
It's something about like the blood of the innocents are being used to sacrifice for magic rituals and immortality and things like that. But as you were saying about horrifying young children, these statues are across Bali.
God. Why? Why would you do that? You're gonna scare the freaking adults.
She's known for her connection to demons and witchcraft and is often seen as evil, but interestingly,
No kidding.
Rangda could also be called upon for protection and represents powerful feminine energy.
Eating babies is not powerful feminine
Okay, but she
energy.
went in the jungle and she survived, gosh dang it.
My baby won't start crying, so I'm going to assert my dominance.
Ritual dances hold a great significance in Indonesia culture.
Mm-hmm.
And several of these dances feature Rangda. Because of this, she has an iconic mask and costume that are always worn during these performances. So,
we have moved on past the story completely, meaning to me that the story that they're doing their dances for is based on, like, a real set of events. Like, there was a real, to me, Balinese king and queen. Queen was exiled,
Maybe.
moving to the jungle. This stuff doesn't come from nowhere.
I mean, yeah, we've got like names of people. I don't know if they're made up names. I don't know like the folklore.
I'm assuming we're hearing a very sensationalized version of what had happened, but it could have just been a simple thing of a queen in Bali was exiled into the jungle and didn't die immediately and was probably found by a tribe and didn't cut her nails and was assimilated into the tribe completely and was a witch for them. And this just blew up into a big story. Now, how does that tie into Barong, into this story you're doing?
So the ritual dances, I believe Rangda is involved in 3 different ones.
Mm-hmm.
One involving Barong, and the other 2 I didn't quite look up a description for.
Okay.
But it was more dealing with more of the protection power that she can give than anything else, than like this evil.
We watched one that did not involve Barong.
No, all the ones we watched were Barong.
Okay, well, I watched one with you that I didn't see Barong in
I was
costume
making
anywhere.
him watch a lot of weird videos of dances, and he probably had nightmares the rest of the night, so...
Barong's creepy.
So I do want to give a description of how the mask specifically looks.
Yeah.
So this is a quote straight from Murusaka.com. Her mask is fearsome with bulging eyes, long, sharp fangs, and a fiery, protruding tongue that can be meters long. With matted hair, pendulous breasts, and long, sharp claws,
Pendulous.
her appearance is designed to inspire terror.
Yeah.
No joke, every single mask has long breasts on it. I don't want to say voluptuous. They are long. They're like pointy.
Voluptuous is a different word.
They're-
long and
Pendulous is
pendulous
correct.
is the word.
They have nipples on them. Like every single mask has this attribute to it.
One of the designs we saw in the video demonstration was more of like the pointed Madonna-esque design, where they're
I think
ice
it's
cream
just,
cone,
it's
waffle
really
cones.
supposed to show like feral woman.
Yes.
Along with Rangda's masks, specific colors are used, typically stripes of red, white, and black, which are common in Balinese culture
Okay.
and symbolize creation, preservation, and destruction. On Rangda, these colors highlight her role in the duality of good and evil.
I don't know if I covered it in the visual description of the SMT2 design, but she is also wearing stripes of white and red, I believe, and she has got lots of black in her design with her black hair. So, yeah, they were very on point with that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It's very accurate.
Rangda's hair is always huge and tangled, a signature part of her look. It can be black or white, depending on the depiction, but it always emphasizes her wild, untamed power. So SMT clearly went with the black.
Mm-hmm.
I only saw one mask when I was watching these videos that was black. Most of them were white, to be like old lady that
I see
grew
that.
white, untangled. So I'm fine with either. I think I now prefer the white.
I think aesthetically the black looks better.
Yeah. That covers what her general traits are, so let's move on to the story I'm sure you've all been waiting for, or at least the one that Alex has been waiting for.
Yeah, that really creepy puppet.
The Legend of Barong and Rangda.
The two-person creepy puppet. Where you got one person's the front who fidgets the face around, clicks the teeth, and then another person who, with no knowledge of what the front person's doing, makes the back legs move around. That's why I love this about Barong and SMT. Like, you look at his idol in 3D, and he moves his front and back legs independently, like they both have different brains, just like the puppets do in the stage plays.
You know what's funny? I'm actually less scared of their SMT designs now that I've seen the dances and stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I knew they were kind of based off of that, but like I hadn't seen the actual like puppets, I guess. Masks is what they're calling them.
Gotta be a word. Mask is a very generous word to be used there. This is a full costume. Like I said, Barong is a two-person costume at least, and then Rangda is a single person. And even watching it, I was saying out loud, I wonder how much that weighs. Like, this outfit,
they look very heavy.
It's a huge outfit.
And they have gold plating on them, too.
And they are active inside of these things. They are swinging their arms around, jumping, moving. It is, you gotta be sweating in that thing.
Now, I'm taking this text straight from a real estate website.
Wait, why?
It gave me the most, like, basic version of the story.
Why?
And, like, I read another one and I didn't like the narrative as much. And, like, this is the one I liked. The website is called BaliCasaProperties.com.
Well, you know what? Shout out to BaliCasa Properties. # not sponsored.
Story time.
Story time.
In the village of Saha, there lived a powerful and benevolent king, Urlaga. He was a just ruler who maintained harmony among his people. However, one day he faced a difficult decision when his beloved queen fell ill. Desperate to save her, Urlaga turned to the dark arts and sought help of the powerful sorceress Rangda.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember who Urlaga is?
Urlaga?
Her son. Oh, that betrayed her.
Oh. Uh-oh. It's a big uh-oh. Wait, so I see why this was such a difficult decision. Is he the king at this point?
He is the king.
Okay.
Yes, because his father had died.
Okay, I see.
And she is very mad that she provided him with a son and then exiled her. You know? Very spicy. Rangda, although able to cure the queen, had sinister intentions.
Oh, Jesus. Of course.
She used her dark magic to gain control over the kingdom and unleash her evil forces upon the land. Chaos and suffering spread across Saha as Rangda's influence grew stronger. Desperate to save his kingdom, Urlaga turned to the spirit world for help. From the heavens descended Barong, a mythical creature representing the embodiment of good and protection. Barong took the form of a lion-like creature with intricate and colorful ornaments adorning his body. He possessed the power to counter Rangda's dark magic. So in another text I came across, there were more details, but the story wasn't presented in a good format.
Yeah, that's theatrical. Thanks, property website.
It had mentioned that Urlaga actually called upon a legendary holy man, Impu Prada. I looked him up. He's not an SMT.
Impu Prada. Yeah.
So I found in their website that gave a specific name. So, and just so you know, Barong is the king of spirits. Outside of fights, he usually appears as a kind of clumsy puppy-like creature.
I can see it.
Terrifying as he looks.
Yeah, really scary-looking, clumsy puppy-like creature. I was wincing as I said that.
Yeah. The battle between Barong and Rangda ensued, a clash of cosmic forces that represented the ultimate struggle between good and evil. Rangda's dark magic and terrifying minions, including witches and monstrous creatures, attempted to overpower Barong.
Well, Rangda's not inherently evil. She's more just trying to get what she's owed.
She's eating babies.
She has eaten babies. I mean, like, come on. I mean, she's getting back at her son for being a bad dude. You know, like, is he really in the right? here, come on.
But Barong's divine power and protection shielded him and those who were loyal to him. Barong's magical powers proved stronger and he eventually defeats Rangda's forces. However, the story doesn't end with Rangda's defeat. Balinese culture emphasizes the cyclical nature of these forces, symbolizing that good and evil are always present and in balance. In the end, the story highlights the balance between good and evil and the fact that their battle is eternal. Rangda often seems exhausted by this endless fight, and she is portrayed more cunning than Barong, who mostly just thinks he's being a good boy. That's my text.
Her origin is as a human, though, and she just got dark arts and power through eating babies, whatever. And she's able to take on a deity. I think that's pretty wicked.
She had become a deity, essentially. And it always ends up like Barong doesn't actually defeat her, just drives her away kind of a situation. So like I don't feel like in SMT, like them being reborn every time is correct. Because that's not what I'm seeing in these cultural stories.
That might be the SMT way of explaining the fact that demons die and are just constantly there all the time. Because some demons don't seem to care about death whatsoever, because death doesn't mean much to them when they can be resummoned suddenly and fused and all that weird stuff.
I love the juxtaposition of her being like this cunning witch and just this good boy dog just fights her because he's doing the good thing. And doesn't think about it. Doesn't question it.
And that checks out with how he talks. He is not smart.
I definitely encourage everyone to check out the Bali dances of Rangda and Barong. They're heavily influenced their animations in SMT.
Yes.
But if you're not able to watch them or just want a little guidance while watching them, I've got you covered with a description. And this text comes from Murasaka.com.
Okay.
It starts with the playful beginning. The performance often begins with Barong entering the stage, perhaps accompanied by his friend, a mischievous monkey. He dances playfully, representing a time of peace and harmony in the village. The next part is the arrival of darkness. The atmosphere quickly shifts as the followers of Rangda appear, spreading chaos and dark magic. They may harass Barong's monkey friend or disrupt the village's peace, signaling the arrival of their fearsome queen. Next is the curse. Rangda herself finally appears in all her terrifying glory. The Barong, as the village protector, immediately confronts her to restore order. A magical battle ensues. In a pivotal moment, Rangda, facing defeat, uses her most powerful black magic to cast a spell on the king's soldiers, representing humanity at the time, causing them to fall into a trance and turn their own kris, traditional wavy daggers, against themselves. So this is where I was thinking of the physical repel.
She makes you turn your daggers against yourself.
Yeah.
So she's not so much bouncing an attack you do back at you. What she's instead doing is you try to mentally swing your sword at her, but instead you cut your own arm. Yeah.
And the next part is the trance. This is the dramatic and famous climax of the performance. Just as the soldiers are about to plunge their daggers into their own chests, the Barong intervenes with his own protective magic. His power makes their bodies...
Tetrakarn!
His power makes their bodies impenetrable to the sharp blades. This leads to the famous trance state, where the men violently press the daggers against their chests, writhing and shouting, but remaining miraculously unharmed, showcasing the protective power of good. Typically, the dance wraps up in a stalemate. Barong can chase Rangda away for a while, but their balance is essential. They can't exist without each other. And the meaning of the ritual? For the Balinese, this performance is more than entertainment. It is a sacred ritual, a powerful exorcism ceremony intended to restore and maintain harmony within the village and the cosmos. The masks of Barong and Rangda are considered highly sacred objects infused with divine energy and are treated with immense respect. So does it help you understand a little bit more of what you saw the other day?
Kinda, not really, because, well, okay, in one of them, yes, but there was another thing that was in multiple performances where Rangda had some sort of sash that she was waving around with her long blade arms, and her followers, I assume, would come out to her praying to her, and she would award them with this sash, and it happened in multiple shows. I don't know what that's about.
I don't know if that's supposed to be like the trance being given over to the soldiers, or if that's supposed to be like the thing that the queen needs to get better. Because remember, this all started because he was trying to get his queen to not be sick
Right,
anymore.
I want to know how that ends, other than, like, you know, them just being at a stalemate forever, or does it just not end?
It just doesn't end. They're always at a stalemate.
The queen never gets better, the son never faces repercussions for what he did by Rangda.
I don't know.
Okay.
They didn't get very specific about that.
Not great at ending stories, the Balinese.
No.
I need a conclusion! It drives me insane in music where you can't figure out how to end the song, so you just loop,
fade.
You loop the refrain forever and you just fade it into obscurity.
That was like all the songs in the 80s?
Yeah, the 80s did it a lot.
A lot.
But it's not just that. It's throughout music history this happens, and I hate it. Like, figure out how to end the thing you started.
Rangda still plays a strong cultural role in Bali today. Statues of her can be found throughout the island, and artists continue to depict her in modern works because she is a terrifying monster. Even today, dances featuring Rangda continue in Bali, both to share the island's rich culture with visitors and to preserve traditional practices. Where else does Rangda show her face other than Bali?
Her mask.
I bet you can take a guess in what other video game she shows up in.
Yeah, The Last of Us.
Close!
Uncharted?
That was so far.
That's closer. I mean, technically that is close.
I don't think that's closer. I think...
The Naughty Dog games.
No, The Last of Us is closer. Because it's Final Fantasy.
No, the Final Fantasy. The Last Story.
The Last Story! That's the one.
I'm trying to be a little wrong. But at first I was being extremely wrong.
So, yeah, that's right. Final Fantasy 13. It looks kind of like a bird with a face similar to the masks worn during the dances. Looks like it uses like arrow magic and can summon Behemoth King, so that sounds like a problem.
All right.
It doesn't really look much like Rangda. I don't think it does.
Sounds like it doesn't do much like Rangda either.
But you can tell it was like influenced by the masks. So
okay.
You'll also find that the name Rangda is used in Warhammer, but there is no relation as this is referring to one of their alien species.
Oh, coincidence.
So like I'm researching things and I have learned how to use that negative minus feature now when you're searching for things in Google. Because I always do minus. So this time it was minus SMT, minus Warhammer every single time I had to research Rangda. Anyway, I've loved researching Rangda and I appreciate her story. Yes, she's still a scary demon, but she's not as freaky to me anymore. So what do you think about Rangda?
I still think she's scary, but at the same time, I'm enjoying the character's lore a lot more, knowing that this horrifying thing has an interesting story behind it.
Yeah, I love it.
Doesn't end.
I also love that Barong is an idiot.
Well, we will find out a lot more about Barong. I have many Barong questions, but obviously that's going to save itself for a Barong episode.
I can answer the Rangda questions, and I am surprised SMT does not have a Layak.
Yeah, well, it kind of maybe does. I don't know. When we look up Mananangul for her own episode, we might find out that it has spilled over to some of the neighboring islands in that area and has gone under other names. Yeah. Well, a long distance would change your name.
But they also have a very rich cultural history as well. I didn't want to go into all of it. I just stuck with like the base description of what a Layak is.
Well, things like dragons have been all over the place in all time periods, which is super weird because we have no fossil record of it and no reason why people should be seeing or having record of the same thing.
It also goes to why are we seeing Sasquatch and then going to what's that country? Nepal.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different area, and we're seeing very similar creatures. Like, what's that about? Why does this keep happening? Is it because we were Pangea? I don't know.
Humans found a way to get to every continent long after Pangea
do you want me to go into aliens?
Alien. No, gosh, don't.
No, they travel along the ley lines. It's a whole thing.
Oh, please. No, don't discount actual human engineering and people being very determined to figure out how to
use
sail
the ley
across the
lines.
oceans.
They use the ley lines.
They use the currents.
Alex won't let my crazy out in these episodes.
They're like, people couldn't have built the pyramids. No, you couldn't beat the pyramid, you little plebeian. These people were determined to figure out how to take human engineering to the limit to make some really amazing things. Also slavery.
Also, slavery is how we ended up doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I'm glad it's not really a thing anymore. Some countries still have this problem,
Some countries do have this problem.
For the most part, it is not a thing anymore.
And then the black market situation, it's a thing.
Yeah, human trafficking is still a thing, unfortunately.
Yeah,
too.
Unfortunately. Well, that was a sad note to end on.
Rangda's cool.
Rangda is cool. And kind of sad for her.
Yeah, it kind of want Rangda to win.
It kind of reminds me of Lilith again.
Like, half of the stories, it would be Barong winning, half the stories Rangda winning, but no, it's just like they're constantly not finishing their story.
Correct. And it's like Rangda just sometimes will overtake, so Barong has to push back a little bit more, and then Rangda will overtake again. You know, it's just
It's like a football game that never goes anywhere.
Which is pretty typical, I feel like, for most Hindu deities, because as I mentioned before, they were both good and evil in most of them. They'll represent creation, but then also represent destruction at the same time.
You fuse these two together and you get the demon god of destruction. So
right.
It makes sense.
Which is also why I was talking about those colors. That's where I had gotten that information from, of the black, red, and white representing those individual gods.
Yeah, and we'll eventually talk about Shiva as well, because I'm curious if those colors, like, he's blue. Like,
and then I can
at
talk
least
about
SMT
his
is blue.
happy cow.
His happy cow. He does have a very happy cow that he rides on.
His wife have a happy cow. Pravati? We'll talk about Shiva.
Yeah, and
I like the Hindu mythologies.
It has nothing to do with that.
The Hindu mythologies are fun to talk about. And Ireland. Those are my favorite right now.
There's a lot of great ones that we've been covering that I'm glad we've covered and learned about.
Yeah, I'm very excited that I like Rangda way more now until I encounter it again in SMT5 and I hate myself again.
And we're going somewhere completely different in the next episode, too.
That's really far away.
Yeah, we are. Be sure to tune in to the next episode.
That's more than like 2 Americas.
Where we will summon a new demon that begins with the letter S. Let us know your favorite demon that begins with S and what you thought of this episode. We would love to hear from you. You can find me online at HamsterBomb on YouTube, where I host a long list of Let's Plays, reviews, and live streams, and thank you all so much for listening. Take care not to let the demons possess you while you sleep. And we will see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.